So this is the second video for 1.1. We'll call it 1.1b. And example number 1, it says find the measure of each angle in figure 6. So they give me, and notice what they do, they put the little square here, meaning that's a 90-degree angle. And they give me this angle here, and they call it 3m. And then they give me this angle here, and they call it 6m. And the question is, find the measure of each angle. Well, what this is telling me is that the angle of 3m plus the angle 6m is equal to a 90-degree angle. Well, what's 3m plus 6m? It's 9m, and that equals 90 degrees. Divide by 9, m equals 10. Okay, is that what we're looking for? No, it's not. They're asking us to find the measurement of each angle. All we found is m. But we take m times 3, and that becomes a 30-degree angle. And then we take m times 6, so 10 times 6 is a 60-degree angle. And when you add those two up, you get your 90-degree or your right angle here that is signifying. So that works. If you look at part B, it's doing the same thing, 4K and 6K. And all you're doing here is adding those up and getting 180 degrees since that's a straight line. So what if we have something that is, let's pretend that this is 1 degree. Okay, this is a magnification of 1 degree. Well, what if I'm interested in the measure here? That looks like that's about half a degree, right? So what they've done is for angles that go on and on and on, notice what happens. As we start here, our distance here is very small. But as we get further away from our vertex, this distance gets to be quite large. So if we were doing something like, and let's just use a real-life example here. Let's say that we have the sun right here, and we have, well, let's make the sun a little bit bigger since it is quite large. Okay, let's make the earth like right here. And let's say that we want to try to find out this angle from there to there. Okay, notice this distance here is going to be millions of miles. Well, let's say that that is actually like 1 degree. But I'm not interested in 1 degree. I'm interested in part of that 1 degree. So maybe I'm interested in, maybe there's a solar flare there or something, and I'm interested in finding out what this angle is. So what they've done is they've taken this 1 degree and they've broken it up into smaller units. Just like you take the yard and you can break it up into 3 feet or 36 inches. You've broken it down into smaller measurements. So we start out with degrees, then we go to minutes. There are 60 minutes in 1 degree. So let's say each one of these is a minute. Let's say there's 60 of them listed there. Then let's say that for some reason we want to break that one of those minutes up into smaller pieces. So it'd kind of be like a mile here, broken up into feet, and then we're going to break those feet up into a smaller unit like inches. And that's the same thing we're doing here. We're taking degrees, breaking it down into 60 minutes, and then taking each one of those minutes and breaking it down into seconds. So there are 60 seconds in 1 minute and 60 minutes in 1 degree. So the way we write those is, let's say we're doing 60 degrees, 32 minutes, 15 seconds. Okay, so that's the way you label those. Minutes and seconds are with the one little apostrophe and then the double apostrophe. All right, so if we were to look at example number 2, let's go ahead and do that one. We've got 50 1 degrees, 29 minutes. And they want us to add 32 degrees, 46 minutes. They want us to add those together. So let's do them in column form. 51 degrees, 29 minutes, 32 degrees, 46 minutes. Okay, and let's add those up. 9 and 6 is 5, carry the 1, we have 75 minutes. 51 and 32 is 83. All right, how many minutes did I say was in a degree? I said there were 60. Well, I have 75 there. So I'm going to take 60 of this 75. I'm going to take 60 away from there, and I'm going to turn that 60 minutes into 1 degree. So now I have 84 degrees, and then what do I have left here? I have 15 minutes left over. So do you see what I did to convert that? I just took 60 of the 75 minutes and turned it into a 1 degree, because there are 60 minutes in a degree, added those up to get this, and took what I had left over of that 75 to get that. All right, same thing if I'm doing subtraction. Let's look at part B of this first example. I have 90 degrees, and I'm subtracting 73 degrees, 12 minutes. All right, so the way I'm going to rewrite this is I'm going to write it as 90 degrees, 0 minutes, minus 73 degrees, 12 minutes. All right, can I subtract those? No, I can't. I can't go 0 minus 12 because this is a distance. So we can't get a negative angle. We can go a negative direction, but we can't get a negative angle. So we can't do 0 minus 12. So what do? I borrow. I'm going to take 1 degree from this, and I'm going to turn it into seconds, since that's what this is. So I'm going to take 1 degree from 90, and that'll make this 89 since I took 1 away. And I'm going to take that degree and make it into 60 seconds. Now I can take 60 minus 12 and get 48, and I've got 89 minus 73, and I get 16. So when I subtract those, I end up with 16 degrees, 48 minutes. So in example 3, we're doing something else with our decimal degrees, minutes, and seconds. And what we're doing is we're going to take something like 74 degrees, 8 minutes, 14 seconds, and they want us to change that to only degrees. So what we're going to do is we're going to change that to a decimal. And the answer to that, I'm just going to give you the answer, is 74.137. So what we did is we took our minutes and seconds and turned that into a decimal so that it ends up looking like that, 74.137. So how did I get that? Well, that's what we're going to do in this next part, is convert 74 degrees, 8 minutes, 14 seconds to strictly a decimal. So what we're going to do is we're going to rewrite this as 74 degrees, and we have 8 minutes. Well, we're going to convert that to degrees. Well, if there's only 8 of them, there isn't 60, so it's not 1 degree. So we're going to write it as the fraction as 8 over 60, because there's 60 minutes to a degree. So that's in degrees. 8 minutes as a degree is 8 over 60. And then the 14 is going to change to 14 over 3600. 3600, where did that come from? Well, there are 3600 seconds to a degree. There's 60 seconds to a minute, 60 minutes to a degree. So 60 here, 60 minutes, and there's 60 seconds in each minute. So 60 times 60 is 3600 in a degree. So 74 degrees, we're changing 8 minutes to 8 over 60. This will always be whatever minute this is over 60. This will always be whatever minute that is over 3600. Always, always, always. So now we can add these together. So I can go 74 degrees, and then you're going to take your handy dandy calculator and take 8 divided by 60 and get 0.13. And then we're going to take 14 divided by 3600 and we get 0.0039. And we're going to add those all together. When we add those all together, we get our 74.137. So what we do, this little squiggly sign means approximately. It's sort of, it's close to, it's almost 74.137. Okay, let's go the other way. Let's go from a decimal to degrees, minutes, and seconds. So I give you the decimal 34.817, and I'm going to give you that in degrees, and I want it in degrees, minutes, seconds. So, what do? Well, we've already got our 34 degrees, so let's get that and just leave that alone. So we're just going to not worry about that. And we're going to convert 0.817, we're going to convert that to minutes and seconds. So remember when we were changing in the last one, minutes to degrees, we divided by 60. Now we're changing degrees to minutes. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our 0.817, I'm going to put plus 0.817, and remember when we are changing the other way, we divided by 60, but since we're changing decimals to degrees, we're going to multiply by 60. So now I have 34 degrees plus 60 times 0.817, and that will make it minutes. Okay, we know we're not done because we still have a decimal. So what we've got is we have our 34 degrees plus 49 minutes. Now we're going to change this to seconds. So again, it's in, look what it's in right now. It's in minutes right now, right? So we're trying to go minutes to seconds. So in order to go from minutes to seconds, we're going to multiply by 60 again. Okay, not 3600 because we're not changing from minutes to degrees. We're changing from minutes to seconds. So 34 degrees plus 49 minutes plus 1.2 seconds. So 34 degrees, 49 minutes, 1.2 seconds. And seconds is as far as we're going. So we're considered done with that. Now some of those will get a little tricky, so you'll be doing some practice on those.